Now there is no hope.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece.
Hey everybody, so today we're going to be reviewing God of War for the PlayStation 2. And yeah, this is our first PS2 review.
So this is God of War. It was released in 2005, made by the people who made the Twisted Metal series. It's kind of a hack and slash type of game. It has some platforming elements, some puzzle elements as well, but most of the time you'll be fighting. So the story in this game is about this huge anti-hero named Kratos who used to be like a big warlord, and one time he's about to die. He sells his servitude to Ares, the god of war, so he can live and kill his enemy. Through all of these years of serving Ares, Ares betrays him into killing his family, and I won't spoil too much of it, but later on he's commissioned to kill Ares.
So the main character is really pissed at Ares for betraying him. So he says that no matter what, he's not going to die, and he needs to find Pandora's box.
Yeah. In the beginning, you are in Athens, and you see Ares. He's like this huge towering figure, and basically you can't fight him yet because you don't have the power. And you go out in search of Pandora's box, and that has the power to destroy a god.
That is super duper cool. Gameplay. It actually works really well. You can't actually control your camera in this game, but it still works pretty good. The manual camera stabilization moving. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, the camera's independent, and there are very few areas where the camera positioning is less than optimal, but it's rare, and most of the time you won't even notice that the camera is there. Yeah, there's a few RPG elements as well. You can power up your weapons, and you get a lot throughout the game as you progress. You start out with these blades that were melded to your body. You also have these magic attacks, which you learn throughout the game as well. And one of them is like Zeus's lightning bolt. You throw lightning. One of them's
you just start floating in the air, and all this electricity goes around you.
Yeah. So the focus is primarily on combat in this game, and it does work very well. It's very refined. The combos aren't overly complicated, and even if you're an expert, you won't be pulling off these really long, stringing together really complex combos.
Yeah, also when you're fighting, sometimes the circle button starts floating above their head, and that means if you press the circle button when you're near them, you could do a special move, which will most likely kill them and make them pray for dear life that you won't kill them.
Yeah, on bigger enemies, the circle will also appear, and this quick time event little mini game will happen where you have to press a certain string of buttons in succession, and you'll be able to pull off this really cool move that just looks awesome. So this entire game is kind of just one big huge level. There's never a clear break in the gameplay, and there's hardly any load times from start to finish. Yeah, which is really cool. It makes it feel like one big cohesive adventure.
Yeah, this game, the level designs are very creative and very sometimes you have to You have to be like lucky to get past a certain part of the level. It's so complicated.
Some puzzles are just really clever, especially for a game such as this, like a combat game. Usually developers don't even try to get into that type of area with puzzles because they think they'll mess it up, but here they just nailed it. Yeah, there's a lot of Indiana Jones type elements in this game. You'll shine rays of light on certain objects. There's rolling boulders of fire.
That was really cool. Actually, that part of the level blew my mind. So, the music in this game.
The music in this game is really, really good. It's really intense. It's really, it's kind of like a opera music almost.
Yes, I really actually like the music. Like, it fit the gameplay.
The whole like mythical Greek ancient idea. The sound effects, Kratos' voiceover, it's okay. Like, I mean, this game obviously isn't trying to take itself seriously. Sometimes it's just so over the top and just like a joke.
I just love the dark humor. Like, there's this other cutscene that was hilarious. So basically, you need a sacrifice to get through this door.
Yeah, it just says ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
You don't know what you have to do.
So you go and there's these guys up in these, like, it's sort of like a jail, but
these little cages.
Like, yeah, it's a little cage, and he brings them down, and then the guy's like, "Oh, thank God you saved me. Oh, come on." And then when he gets to the bottom, when he touches the ground, he's like, "What are you waiting for? Release me from these bars so we could go back to Athens."
Thank the gods you
And
come.
then-
Break these bars. Get me out of here. Well, what are you waiting for? Let me out. We can find our way back to Athens.
The gods demand sacrifice. From all of us.
Oh, please. Oh.
Kratos is just like, "Look, I have other plans for you." It's like, the gods need an ultimate sacrifice.
The gods require a sacrifice.
And then then he's just like, "No, no!" And then he burns him alive.
Yeah. And there's this whole scene where you're dragging him up this huge hill, and then the whole time he's like screaming to let him out.
Yeah, that was so funny because it's just the humor that I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it's just like the guy's so confused. He's like, "What are you waiting for? Get me out of these bars so we could go back to Athens. Let's go have a fun time." And Kratos is like, "Not on my watch."
Yeah, he has like no remorse. He's like the perfect anti-hero.
Yeah, it's just like you're basically playing as a bad guy, or more like a badass.
Yeah, he's a real douchebag.
Yeah, I love him. He is my favorite character ever. So, the graphics in this game, they're pretty good for PS2.
And this game came out like 5 years ago.
Which means that it's even better.
Yeah, for the time, it looked great. It was one of the best looking games on the PS2, and it runs very smoothly as well, like 60 frames per second throughout.
The whole game.
Yeah, the cutscenes look really good. Even in like combat with a bunch of enemies around you, which is usually what most of the combat consists of. With you're always outnumbered, the frame rate still doesn't stutter.
Yeah, yeah, the graphics are good.
Yeah, so this game will probably take you around, so I'd say maybe 10 hours. It's not the longest game you'll play.
But it definitely is going to be one of the most fun games you will play.
Yeah, it's a fun ride while it lasts, and if you have a PS2, definitely pick this one up. If you have a dark sense of humor and, you're allowed to play these type of games.
Yeah, so definitely pick this up.
It's one of the best action games on the PS2.
Oh,
Okay.
and remember,
Yeah.
it's rated M, so
So if you're under 17,
you can't play it. Just kidding. Of course you can.
totally.
Yeah, so it's a great PlayStation 2 game. I haven't really played many PlayStation 2 games other than Harry Potter, which is the most badass one.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, I've actually played that game. So yeah, I've never owned a PS2, but this is a pretty good one. So,
So that's
our review of God of War. Maybe someday we could review God of War 2 or God of War 3 isn't God of War 3 for the PS3?
Yeah, we actually both have plans, maybe, getting a PS3.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we do have plans.
And this has been our first review of a PS2 game.
So I hope you enjoyed this review, and happy gaming.
Slaughtered like